Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. I shall see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today on Friday. Gonna get down on Friday. Yeah. What are we up to today? We're doing some casual recording as per usual. Everything is just busy all the time. I'm trying to think because I didn't get a chance to stream yesterday or today. So it means basically there's one more stream left in March, which will be Sunday. So it will have to be a drawing stream rather than a game stream, which is fine because I think that's a part that people have ended up enjoying the most. But, you know, person dependent. Some people like the puzzle games, which is fair. But good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 10:12 p.m. on Friday, March 28th, 2025. I'm busy tomorrow though, which makes it very difficult because it means I'm not gonna have an opportunity to record anything. I suppose luckily for me, I do have half of next week's videos recorded, but I've got no another Crab's Treasure, and I'm like, I gotta figure out a time. But I'm also like, I haven't actually like played any games with my friends this week. Not saying that's like a necessity or anything, but it's also like a, you know, I like playing games with my friends, as I feel like most people probably do. Not necessarily my friends, but with your own friends. How's the thumbnail art coming along? It's fine. It's fine. It's cool. Yeah, I think a refined sketch is done, at least for the characters. I need to go back over and like make sure I like brush up any details or anything like that. I don't even know why we're walking around the island. I've got nothing to look for. And to make sure that there's no details I've missed, because I had some ideas as I was drawing them at the same time. The background is going to be incredibly simple, so that I'm not particularly worried about. It's quite a rarity because I don't actually have to think much about perspective with this background, and if you want a hint, I suppose, of what it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be, I mean, the only thing which makes it slightly guessable, this YouTube, the new thumbnail, is the fact that I'm telling you that each of them have basically, since last year, will start being themed around one of the NPCs, or more than one of the NPCs in these cases, in Animal Crossing. Now obviously I'm not doing Wilbur and Orville again, so I've chosen different NPCs this time. Technically I guess the focus is on one NPC, and then it's a package deal. I'm not going to tell you how many in the package deal because then I think I might give it away. But one or more other NPCs are also in it, which are strongly associated, but also not necessarily this kind of focus. And I think the other thing I said is the fact that the outfits no longer are taken from the game because I was running out of outfits essentially. And I don't think this concept would be doable, or at least doable in an interesting way, if I took only outfits from the game. So there's your hint. I also think that this outfit, my Animal Crossing Deer character is wearing, is not a good representation of what Dee is wearing in the thumbnail art, but literally there is like no good option. Like, if anything, I guess probably I would remove the devil wings, but you know, I will look at it once again, I think. Once we get back to once I finish it, like I'll adjust it once again and make some small adjustments. If anything, maybe we should go to Able Sisters more and actually buy out their catalogue more often, because we are missing a lot of colour varieties, I think, for a lot of different things. But yes, what else is happening? There's been another D&D this week. One group was on a break because one of them is on holiday, which is good for him. Good for him. And the other group, I think I spoke about the other group's D&D session already, did I? I'm not sure. There's definitely like some things to pull at. I feel like I say that a lot. Like it's just sort of like me as a DM in the corner going, hee, look at all these like lore relevant plots I'm dropping. But the player doesn't necessarily know about them yet because they don't have a full context of everything, and it's hard to assume everything. And as I say every single time, my players are pretty good actually at guessing a decent amount of plots. Not all the plots, some I get wrong. But there have been plots which they've guessed, and some which have been scarily accurate at guessing, and I was like, whoa, But yeah, I won't say which ones, to preserve the mystery, I suppose, and the fun of D&D, of figuring out exactly what story I've got in store. Anyway, so I'm going to be busy for most of tomorrow, as far as I know. So that doesn't leave a lot of recording time. But at the same time, I'm just like, I should record, because there's not going to be another good time to record this weekend. If I record basically 2 Another Crab's Treasures today, then I'll only have 1 Animal Well video I need to record, which is honestly great. That's so few videos to record. So I guess last week I actually managed to somehow build up a backlog. Mainly because I didn't stream, right? But anyway, what are we going to talk about today? I'm not sure. How's the new Pokemon pack come along? It's coming pretty good. I very luckily managed to not only pull a Paldean, what's it called? The one I wanted. Clotters? It's not called Clodsdale. Paldean. TCG pocket. I cannot remember what it's called. It starts with C. Clodsire, that's it. Not only did I manage to pull a Paldean Clodsire card, I can actually run the deck now because I actually managed to snipe another one in the Wonder Picks, and I was very, very happy about that. I've been playing that, and I had a very embarrassing moment where I made the deck. I tried it out in 1 ranked game, and I was like, okay, you know, I can certainly see. I can't remember. Like, I made a substitution. I think I put another copy of Leaf in or something, or I took out a card. I was like, okay, I can see why this card is probably not very useful right now. Oh no, you know what it is? I put Drugadon in as a sort of tanky ward, so I can have time to set up. Because it is kind of very much like a stalling sort of deck, as like a backup plan if you don't get Clodsire popping off. Went into the next rank game, and I was like, wait a minute, why do I have Fire Energy? And I was like, oh, I forget that Pokemon TCG Pocket for some reason. Every time you edit a deck, will automatically end up setting the energy to match the exact Pokemon you have in the energy requirements you have for your deck. And because I added Drugadon, or whatever his name is, who needs water and fire energy to actually attack, not that you'd ever use it, it means that it automatically added water and fire to my deck. So I was like, okay, I'll play the first turn. Like, my opponent must have been like, what is this person doing, playing an entirely dark deck, but they ran fire energy? And then I was like, the next one's water, and I was like, I'm not even gonna, I'm just gonna concede. This game is hopelessly lost, seeing as all the other Pokemon in my deck who actually are part of the game plan need only dark energy to attack. So I was like, okay, this is hopeless. So congratulations to my opponent getting a free win. I tried that deck. I also kind of run some other decks. You know, I've had some good snipes off, and I've had some good pulls, to be honest. So I tried a Wug Trio deck. I don't get it. Because the recommendations that people are using is run it with Palkia EX, and I'm doing that as well. I'm like, but it takes so long to ramp up this Palkia EX. Like, at least Wug Trio kind of goes kind of quickly, but it's so inconsistent. I know that's kind of a point of it, is that it's meant to be inconsistent. It's meant to be a bit unpredictable, because otherwise it'd be, I don't know, I guess pretty strong. But I'm also like, because it's so inconsistent, I'm like, I don't know how to play this. The skill difference, quite literally, because I'm just a rookie. And I want to try a Beedrill deck. I haven't got around to trying to stitch something together with that yet. But yeah, that's been happening. It's a fun time, rank mode. Rank mode's interesting actually in this one as well, because I was looking at the details of it. You basically can't demote, and you get more points for winning, I think, and also there are win streaks in the rank mode. So basically it's strongly encouraging you to climb upwards to one of the leagues, and then you hit, I think it's Master League or something, and then suddenly that's basically like where the actual ranked begins. Then it becomes like you get equal amounts of winning and losing, 50-50. Or you get no more win streak bonus. So you need a greater than 50% win rate to actually climb in it. So it's almost like our rank system is split into 2, where like the first part is just a grind, but like just keeping at it for a while will probably get you, as long as you have like a 50% win ratio, as long as you can do it like in win streaks or something, you will eventually climb, because you have like fail saves that you can't really go backwards too easily. And then once you hit the Master League, that's when it becomes like a true rank system, kind of. It's not actually ELO, it's more like ranking. Anyway, is there much to it? There's not really much to it. There's nothing particularly complicated. You just sort of climb or you don't climb, I guess. it's like there's not really much more else, I think, for me to say about it. But it's interesting. I'm not really someone who cares too much about ranking, weirdly enough, despite my very sort of like achievement-oriented nature when it comes to playing games. Like achievement oriented in the sense that I'm just like, yeah, I want to make sure that I do the best I absolutely can in a game. Otherwise, to me, I'm like, what's the point? But yeah, I don't know what else I was going to say about that. Yeah, I'm not really someone who actually cares about ranked system all that much, and in any game really. I will still play it, and all that good stuff, but, well, actually, I don't even play it that often. Like, I would never solo queue it, but I would definitely, like, play with a friend or something if they wanted to. But most of the time, I'm not, like, all that jazzed about the base game in the first place. The thing which is nice about TCG Pocket is that at least the matches are very, very quick. So it feels a lot more reasonable to just be like, oh, you know, I've got a couple of minutes, and, you know, let's just pick up a game and play it, or whatever. The things I was doing before was the solo missions, I guess, because you actually get stuff for beating it, but now you actually get like a ranked, to climb up a ranked ladder. And then I'm like, maybe now that's pushed me to more of an incentive to actually like try and climb upwards in it. I don't know how high up I'll get, to be honest. I don't think I'm like that particularly amazing at this game or anything. Even though I have a pretty decent decks, almost perfect. Some meta decks, I don't have the strongest deck, so actually no, I can make an Arceus Diagra deck, so I guess, you know, scratch that. But I don't play that deck. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know where I was going with this. I feel like my thoughts are quite scatterbrained at the moment. But I was just thinking, you know, we haven't had a game talk in a while. It's a very interesting way to design a ranked ladder system, isn't it? Where it's like, it basically is fundamentally split into two, but it makes sense. Pokemon has both a casual crowd and a competitive crowd, doesn't it? You know, the casual crowd want to, well, be casual with. It's not to say that they don't want competition in a rank sense either, but it's more like they don't want something so crazy in the sense that they're there to necessarily min-max everything, or they're there to necessarily try hard, or they're there to, you know, study out on guides and figure out the best way to play at all opportunities. It could be someone who, you know, takes the best deck from the internet and then but doesn't really know how to pilot it, but still has fun playing in a more competitive setting rather than, you know, a much more casual setting in like an unrated queue, you know? Or someone who wants to experiment with much more wilder and wacky and wonderful things. And also maybe people who are just actually casual players but also have the sort of like that FOMO need to be like, I want to try and sort of prove myself in a sense. But the rank system is basically geared that you can't, it's basically heavily incentivized that anyone can sort of climb upwards to a certain degree. You will need a deck that at least can go about 50% win rate or higher, I think. So you do need something of a fighting chance, or you just got to invest a lot of time into it. But I mean, investing time often means you do get better in the first place. So everyone basically gets on a trajectory upwards until they hit the highest tier, in which case they sort of switch over to a much more a rank mode much more commonly seen in competitive games. The only thing missing from it, I guess, is the ELO system. That's about it. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it except for it's like super intriguing to me. to be able to have this sort of system. Because it almost, like, part of me is like, it's a fake rank system. Why? Because it's not like a fair rank system in favour of everyone, actually, if the goal is to get a higher rank, because it's skewed upwards for victories. Which is why I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, that's not a fair rank system, that's not a true display of skill. But at the same time, it's not necessarily meant to be a true display of skill. But it's like, it's never occurred to me to have a ranked system such that the first part is not necessarily a true rank system. It's something to incentivize that feeling of climbing upwards. Like, there's a thing as well where you basically, the first few enemies you fight are bots. And then I saw that on Reddit people were saying that, oh, I lost and then I fought a bot. Like, I fought an actual player, I lost, and then it put me against a bot again. That also did happen to me with the Wog Trio deck. So I've also noticed that. And it's like so interesting, because it's like we put so many systems in place to make sure that the casual player, and casual again can be anything, basically people who are not necessarily looking for a true quote quote ranked experience. And I don't mean true as in like a get off your high horse sort of way. I mean it in the sense of one which is much more faithfully reflecting skills through equal weighting through win or loss, or like an elo system or something like that. People want to feel like they're getting up, but also want to have it sort of skew upwards. But also some people don't want to have that, because again, it runs a whole gamut of competitiveness with Pokemon players, because I mean Pokemon is quite an all ages and franchise in the end. There are probably kids playing the game who are just like, oh, you know, I'm going to try rank mode. But if they get completely demolished by people who have been playing for ages, who pull a load of packs, who understand metagame, who understand, you know, deck building or net decking, even at a bare minimum, they will get utterly stomped from, you know, the kid who was like threw all their favourite Pokemon together in a deck. So they have this sort of system to be able to make sure things skew upwards. And by the way, the bots are like so bad. They're unbelievably bad. They don't even have like a cohesive deck or anything. But literally, it's like the deck they built on random, almost. Which I guess is meant to be, again, another thing which skews you upwards. Perhaps too strongly, I would say. I don't know if the bots maybe get better as you get higher. Presumably there are fewer bots as well as you get higher as well, because then it's like, as you get higher, it's like, oh, you're more committed to this getting a faithful rank representation, you're probably more okay with the competitive nature of it. So yeah, but it's never occurred to me to have it split up in this two-tiered system, being like, oh yeah, we'll have this rank system in at the beginning, which basically skews positively for you. So people who are casual can play for like however amount of time. Let's say it takes like 50 games to get to a true rank system. Might not play 50 games or whatever, maybe they'll play like 20 and they'll be like, well, I get a sense of accomplishment. Look, I'm like climbing up to silver or gold because things are skewed in their direction. It doesn't really matter whether it's you argue if it's a true display of their skills or not, because at the end of the day, the positive effect is that one, they get, you know, reward out of it through one way or another. But for those who are looking for a much more sort of reflective of a competitive system, can play through those 50 games or probably breeze through or whatever, playing against bots, playing against other casual players, and occasionally having a match against someone who actually is also, you know, doing their best as well. And then they get to the actual rank ladder system, and now they have like a proper reflection of what's going on in a league of their own, kind of. It's such an interesting concept. Such an interesting concept to me that I can't believe. I'm not sure even if it's a good idea or not, because I feel like the most sensible way you would do it is you'd have that rank system, which would be a true display of the rank skill straight from the beginning, and then you'd have like something which is not casual, something in between, something which maybe have like a sort of hidden MMR matchmaking system behind it, but it's not as strict, so people can sort of like have it in between where it's not like they don't want a casual free for all, but they still want something in a much more competitive format. You know what I'm saying? It's just so interesting to have like these two ladders stacked on top of each other, essentially. Anyway, I think I'll round this episode off here. I don't know how else to describe it because it's such a nothing thing to talk about, but at the same time, to me, it's so fascinating when I saw the description of it. But anyway, I'm going to round this episode off here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.